And I know I keep using the gendered for this, but if you're seeing a shitty stand-up comic, like
It's always a
90%
dude.
chance it's some dude who thinks he's killing it. Some 20-year-old dude who's never done anything in his life, but has thoughts on abortion. He has
I got
thoughts on
opinions.
trans. I got opinions. Oh man.
You got them thoughts on trans?
Oh man, trans healthcare. Oh
There's our
man.
name. There's our new name. Thoughts on trans.
Wait, thoughts on trans. You know, he's got a transphobic stand-up comic. He's just a transphobic.
Well, that's the best kind. That's the kind that'll win you a Grammy and get you to host the Oscars.
Oh man, I get to host the Oscars. Wow, fuck them bitches.
That's your path to success is being one of them transphobics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's the fast track. And
ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, starring Lilith Electra Zarling, Amanda Bonanza, and esteemed Republican Senator from the great state of Texas, your host, Ted Theodore Cruz.
Like I got into stand-up because I wanted people don't believe me. I was like, for 5 minutes everyone's got to listen to you, and it was really about that, and like having that, because it was also about the time I was like I'd been doing improv for a while, and I started doing stand-up, and I think a lot of it tied with my own personal journey about my transition. And like obviously I'd been aware since I was a kid, but as I started being on stage more, like letting down my guard and being my authentic self started coming out more, and that was like the first steps towards like eventually transition. And so like for me, that was it. It's about being on stage and presenting myself and having my thoughts and like having people listen to me. And yeah, you get like the people are just like, I'm just funny. I have one guy who's just like, I just want to be famous. And I was like, dude, you can just go commit 30 murders and be famous. You don't have to put in all this work to be a stand-up comic and go to open mics and stuff to do it. But yeah, we can definitely.
Because he was honest. A lot of people can't even admit that. Yeah. Like it's like I'll give him that. Like it's like
I just want to be famous.
Like yeah, I just want to be famous.
Try harder if you want to be famous at comedy because you suck. Yeah, you understand. You understand the work involved, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. You got
it. It's just like it's people come in, they don't have like a premise to their joke. It's like the premise is how the audience understands what you're making fun of.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's just like, yeah, there's a lot to it. And like I said, I don't know the specifics as what it pertains to that particular field, that particular branch of entertainment. But like, I understand that you don't just go on the stage without having thought about what you're going to do.
I'm real honest. I do. I tell people.
Well, that's like, you're in the improv world. That's your whole jam. But like, I mean, even improv takes work to get there. Like, it's like you don't just you don't just wake up and like I'll just say anything I want. Like that's it.
I mean, I kind of do just say it, but
you do now. I do now because you can, because you've done the work and you've fucked up. Like, I mean, that's the thing is like you learn from failing. Like that's how that shit goes. It's like you don't start getting comfortable on stage till you fucking bomb.
Right. Well, that's the other thing that people are like, I just want to be as comfortable on stage as you are. It's like, yo,
you have to bomb. You have to bomb 100 times first. Yeah.
Through so much of not being comfortable on stage. I tell people, I just go and talk to the audience, and when I run out of shit to talk about, then I'm like, I'll remember some jokes I wrote, and that's about it. Yeah. No, your personality is amazing. You'll be fine on stage.
I'm worried about it. I'll be hilarious. And I actually have like bits, so it's like I've got a 10. I can put together a tight 10. I don't even think I'll get a tight 10. Tight 5.
An open mic, you might get 3 or 5.
Yeah, so I was say 5. I'll squeeze 5 out of it, but I won't do 10. I'm not gonna hog it.
Yeah, I'd like to do 50 minutes, please.
I'd like a special.
Yeah, I'd like. Did I ever tell you this? The third time I did stand-up comedy, I did a full hour.
Jesus, that's crazy.
I did a full hour. I basically did it twice. And then some guy was running he was like doing a show for like a fundraiser, and he brought in a professional friend of his who is up in the Baltimore area, and was just like, I just want to have like people who want to do comedy open for him. You get like 5 minutes. And I did it. And the first time I did it, I loved it. And I did the second time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do a. I just want to. I filmed it. I had posters made. I made $90 selling
Great.
tickets. Yeah. Yeah,
That's great.
I tell people, they're like, when do you make comedy money from comedy? I'm like, well, stop showing up at open mics and like go run a show or go sell
Yeah,
tickets to something. I'm
that's how
like,
you do it.
no one wants
I
to do it
mean,
themselves though. These kids today, they don't want to work.
I never wanted. I hated doing it all myself, but I did it. It
I stopped.
still
Part of the reason I
sucks.
stopped doing it is because like I would get people involved and I'd be like, let's do this, this, and this, and I'd find out that I'm doing it all, and they're just coming along and performing. I was like, no, this sucks. I want to be the person who just like comes around and performs.
Yeah,
I don't want to do any of the
you
work.
gotta get like an agent or
Uh,
something.
I'll write a tight five as well, and but what I'll probably do is like just go back to my greatest hits and do those.
That's yeah. You might as well, right?
Yeah, just go out there and they're like, "Wow, you're amazing." That's the cool thing is like stepping away from the community and then coming back. Like I did an improv show after being gone for like 2 years, and so like all the
Mm-hmm.
staff and all the students like didn't know who I was, and they're just
Right.
like, "What?" And then one girl was like, "She's like, what class are you?" in?" I'm like, "Lady, I've been doing this for like 20 years. What do you mean, what class am I in?" Like I love the idea that you just watched that and it blew your mind. And you were like, "You must be in Improv 102 or something, right?" Like,
That's great.
I've kind of been all over the place, but I love that. Yeah, like have you ever tried stand up? It's like I taught the stand up class here for like 5 years. Like there's a stand up class here because of me. Like they didn't do stand up until I started teaching it. So, yeah, but whatever. Yeah, I love that. And so like I haven't been. Honestly, we talked about 2018 on a recent episode because that's how long it's been. The last time I was in San Luis Obispo, I was there
Yeah, it's a long
twice. I was
time.
there twice in 2018. Once for the festival that my friend runs. Then I moved that friend to LA later in the year, and then drove up to San Luis Obispo and did a show and taught a class and stuff. So yeah, was that bitty enough for you? That was some bits.
Oh, there's so many bits. There's
That was
so
such a
much now.
good. That was such a good conversation. We're talking about stand up now, and now as we get closer, maybe I can get a date and we can start telling people listen to the podcast what open mic to come catch us at. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
come see us. Come
Mm-hmm.
high
Mm-hmm.
five us. Come buy us some
Yeah,
pint.
come see us. Come see us. Come see us in the flesh. You've seen us on YouTube. Now see us in life.
You can just come up. And just,
Come to Meet Space.
we're gonna go to meetup.com and have a meetup posted for everyone to come meet up. We'll just drink coffee in a Starbucks and just come by and say hi. Yeah, it's real simple.
Yeah, sure.
No pressure. No pressure.
I go to Starbucks.
I'm
I like
like
Starbucks. It was on my bio at work.
that you liked Starbucks.
Yeah. I didn't want to draw
Oh,
attention to.
you're the one who likes
I didn't want to
Starbucks?
draw any attention to myself. Like I love Starbucks.
Oh, what are the basic girl things? I like Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love
Gilmore
Starbucks
Girls.
and cats.
I do love cats. Shut up.
I love cats too.
Oh my god. I wish Fear could come with us on this trip, but I don't want to. I don't want to fly.
Can't
him.
take a cat across country. They fucking hate it.
Yeah. Fear hates
Cats hate being in vehicles. They fucking hate it. Any kind of vehicle, they fucking hate it.
fucking asshole cat.
Like dogs don't give a shit. They'll fucking hop in a fucking
But
truck
dogs
and
are
just be
dumb.
fucking
That's why
stoked.
cats are better because dogs are so
Well, I
fucking
mean-
dumb.
Dogs are real dumb, but they're cute dumb. I mean, I like
Yeah.
dogs.
I don't hate dogs, but I don't want to. I don't want to have a dog in my house because it's like needy.
No, they fucking stink and they're dirty as fuck and they're needy and like
you go out, you got to be like, I got to be back in 3 hours, or the dog's gonna take a hit.
yeah, no, it's worse than having a kid because they never fucking figure out how to mow the lawn.
Right. That's a
You
good
gotta have a
point.
dog put the dishes away.
Yeah. But a cat is exactly what I want out of that relationship. It's like whenever we need each other, we just spend some time together. But then
Yeah.
you right over here in the closet underneath my dresses, sleeping on some canvases I have in there, and I'll see him in like 8 hours. Like half the time, I don't even know he's here. Who gives a shit? He's like, I don't need this. He's like, I'm going to come to you this afternoon while you're sitting on the couch. I'm going to lay on your chest. I'm going to put my head on my boob and I'm going to purr for 15 minutes and I'm going to leave. And I'm like, that's all I need.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly.
Can I sit on your keyboard, please? Or not can I? It's just I am doing this now.
I am going to sit on your keyboard. Yeah, no, cats are the best. Cats are literally the best.
Love me a kitty.
He's just
Let's
like
start the show.
he's adorable. Oh, now we've got too many bits. Okay, my
We got
bad.
too many bits. I'm tired of
Too many.
I'm tired of all these bits. I'm sick of them.
Let's click, and I'll just Hey, girl, you ready for a question? You want to just jump on in and answer a question?
I think. Did we do intro?
We didn't.
I don't think we did.
We didn't. We just jumped in. We were so caught up in the bits.
We jumped in, but there's so many bits.
Welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. I'm Lila Zarling. That's Amanda Bonanza. Ted Cruz.
Hi, everyone.
Today. How's everyone doing? Y'all are fucking fabulous. I just want to say that right off the bat. Every one of you is amazing. And Amanda, you are the most amazing. And you get
I'm somewhat amazing.
more adorable every week. It's amazing.
That's HRT for you.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It's magic fucking shit.
Right?
You should try it. If you haven't tried it, you should try it.
And then I made myself, I put together my big old honking tub of water. There you go.
Is that okay? Wait, is that Daria? Who I saw that sticker on there?
Yeah, I got a couple Daria. I got Daria.
Okay, that's Daria with the third eye.
Wet ass pussy.
Got
Dolly.
Yeah.
There's another Daria, and I got the trans with the third eye. And a rainbow.
There you go.
Yeah. And then some coffee company that I got a coffee from sent me stickers as well, so I put those on there.
Is that what WAP stands for? Is the wet ass pussy?
I mean, it literally is a wet ass pussy.
It's not. Where are pictures of Spider-Man? Where are pictures of Spider-Man?
Parker, get in here. Parker. No, it's not where are pictures of Spider-Man. Although now I want the same sticker, but with
Jonah Jameson
coming out of the wet bucket.
But yeah. Where are pictures of Spider-Man? I think that's the question. I'm sure you did have questions, but I think that's the real question.
The real question is today on Girl Dick with Ted Cruz. Our first question: where are pictures of Spider-Man?
Yeah. Where are pictures of Spider-Man? I don't have answers. That's the problem. Answers. It's like, I can't help you. I can't help you there. I got no pictures of Spider-Man.
Well, then let's go to some questions. Yeah.
I do have some if I probably dig through my photos, I can muster up some screenshots of Fortnite where there probably are some pictures of Spider-Man.
We could also just jump into some questions we can answer, and we'll leave where are pictures of Spider-Man to the professionals like J. Jonah Jameson and Peter Parker, who suspiciously is the only one who ever gets pictures of Spider-Man. I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's something going on.
Well, he's not the only one, but he gets the best ones.
He does get the best pictures of Spider-Man.
He gets the best pictures of Spider-Man. He's good, but like so many Americans, his work is undervalued.
It's undervalued. I mean, ever since the newspapers consolidated starting in the early 90s, it's just been like tougher and tougher to get good news and tougher and
harder to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh, it's impossible to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Harder to sell pictures of Spider-Man.
Because you can't have your own picture guy on staff to get pictures of Spider-Man. It's a national thing. The Tribune company has one guy nationwide who's there to get pictures of Spider-Man, and then he sends it out through the network if he gets one. And it's just stupid. When you had locally owned local papers, you could have your own Spider-Man guy to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's only ever in New York, though. It's like Spider-Man didn't travel around like Superman, Iron Man.
I know he's a neighborhood Spider-Man, so maybe
your neighborhood Spider-Man. So he's just not even. It's like I don't even think he went to Queens. He was just in Brooklyn. Wait, or was he in Queens?
So what you're saying is probably like whoever's like the Shepherd
Express. There ain't no fucking Spider-Man in Long Island. Dude, criminals are running rampant. Staten Island's just fucked.
It's got Pete Davidson, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I feel like Spider-Man would make his way to Manhattan. Like Spider-Man could decent Broadway, fuck up some shit on Broadway.
You just take a subway over to Manhattan and you're right there.
Or we swing through the buildings. I think like Spider-Man's fucking sitting in the subway with like his tokens.
Wait, did you not
Like,
play? Did you not play the Spider-Man game on PS4?
never played the Spider-Man
That's the
game.
fast travel system. The fast travel system is you get in the subway, and then they have a cutscene of Spider-Man in full gear sitting in the
Just sitting
subway,
in the
and
subway.
someone's always trying to start a conversation with him, or he says something witty. Yeah. Oh, it's great.
That's great.
It's
Yeah.
fun. That's so
I
peak
did
fun.
not. I did not.
It's a good game. I highly recommend it. On that note, let's go to some questions. Some questions we can't answer. We'll table where our pictures of Spider-Man for now.
We got enough bits.
You're the one who said we had enough bits. You cut me off quite rudely when it came to bits. But that's fine. That's fine. All right. So this one is titled "Question About Transition." So that's a great title.
See,
It was speaking
right?
right to
That's what
us.
I want to know.
Speaking right to me.
The world wants to know. The people want to know.
All right. Question about transition. It says, "Where are pictures of Spider-Man?"
Yeah.
We all want to know.
That's all anyone cares about
all
anymore.
anyone cares about. All right, question about transition. Oof. About a month ago, I found out my wife had an affair and is now pregnant with the guy's kid. She blamed her deciding to sleep with him on me being trans and wanting to transition. I know and understand that it's not my fault. Her decision was about what she wanted. But since then, I haven't been able to touch any of my femme things or dress up. I still feel the gender envy and still feel that it is me, but I can't do any of the dressing up that used to make me feel good. Has anyone ever experienced anything like this or have any recommendations? I am in therapy, so that one is covered.
I have nothing here.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what to say to this. Like it's like I mean there's not enough to go on. I mean like I don't know what the it sounds. There's a lot of vague stuff. Like I mean it sounds like they're still in a relationship with their wife. Like but their wife is pregnant with someone else's baby and they're sticking with it. And also you got blamed. I mean that my first advice is leave your wife. Like that's my first advice. Like leave that person and divorce your wife. That's my first piece of advice. Because I mean, it's one thing to cheat on you and get pregnant, like, and that's an act that can be forgiven. But then to blame that on
you and not take any personal responsibility is
and then be like, this is your fault. That then like, I think you need to leave your wife. Like I think there's I think it's the first thing you should do. I think you should do that immediately. And here's the thing is like, do they have other kids? Like, do they have, their own kids? There's so much there.
Yeah.
But I think you need to leave your wife.
I'm gonna avoid telling you what to do. You're in your situation. You have to figure that yourself.
You gotta figure that out.
I also don't feel like it's any like where the conflict is, why you don't want to continue with these things that help you be your authentic self. Like you were told your authentic self is the reason this awful thing happened to you. And the fact of the matter is that's not why it happened to you. All right.
Yeah, that's not why it happened.
It's not your fault. And one of the other reasons is because like I've gone through before I transitioned, like when I was married, I would go through these phases where like I would get clothes, I would wear them. When I had time alone and I'd have my little stash and I'd eventually get rid of them because
you go through that phase where it's like, I gotta get rid of this and like blah 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 blah.
It was so painful. Like I was in this marriage and I was too young and stupid and inexperienced and socially awkward and all the things that I am not anymore, to realize that I could get divorced and go live my own life. And it was just like painful. And I'd get rid of it and think that, you know what, I'm just going to put that behind me and be done with it. And then 6 months, a year later, another opportunity to like score some women's clothes. And when you have the time, you wear it and you go through the whole cycle. So it's, essentially you're just denying yourself. You're denying your true self. And the one thing we've learned on this podcast, I think, is if you're denying your authenticity, you're just going to be miserable because you're going to be completely not living your authentic self. You're not going to be doing the life you want to do. So I think obviously, the problem is you're coming from this place where who you are has been blamed for this thing that happened to you. And that's not true. And so I would say my first recommendation would be like, realize that, that's not your fault. and your wife cheated on you for whatever reason is her own, that's
Yeah.
definitely not your fault. If she's saying, she can't handle that, then she has to make a decision about that. But she can't make a decision and then say, it's not her decision. It's her decision to make. And she
That's the other thing is that's the real clincher to me. I mean, cheating's not great in a relationship. It's not a good thing. And I mean, I don't know. Like, and there's the whole aspect of whether she's going to keep the baby and all that stuff. It's a very complicated situation. But it is one of those things where it's like, I mean, part transitioning is difficult, and it's a very impactful thing. And if you're already married and your spouse is not prepared for it, like, not everyone can just cross that bridge. Not everyone can do that. Like not everyone can swing both ways, and to expect that of your spouse. Like, I feel like I've never been married and I don't have kids, so I can't really give advice on what to do in those situations. But it seems to me like it's like if you're married and your spouse is unaware that you're trans, and you decide to transition, you come out, like, and they don't, if they act transphobic and they're shitty about it, like it sounds like that your wife is, that sucks, and you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of the toxicity in your life. But a lot of times I've seen it where like a spouse was open minded and was like, okay, well, I wasn't expecting this, but I'll give it a shot. But then it also just didn't work,
Mhm.
and you can't really blame someone for that. Like, and not everyone is attracted to transgender people, and not everyone is capable of being gay. Like, it's like it's not a thing that, like, that's not a thing, like sexuality and isn't something anyone gets to choose. So it's the same thing, that street goes both ways. Like, where it's like you can't expect someone to just, like, switch it up, like,
Mhm.
because not everyone can. And so, like, it makes things really difficult, and it makes things really complicated. But the bottom line is you have to be true to yourself.
Mhm.
And sometimes, like, I mean, and it can get messy and it can suck, and I'm not saying destroy your family and abandon your wife and your kids, but I am kind of saying, like, it sounds like, unless I got the wrong impression here, that anyone that would do all of those things together is not someone you should
Yeah.
be
I
around.
also think, like, just this kind of touches me a little bit, because like they do this awful thing and then they blame you. And like, for me, like, I was in a relationship with a narcissist. This is classic narcissist behavior. When things go wrong, when
Yeah.
they do something wrong, it's never their fault. And so I would say, look at the pattern of your relationship. Is that how this relationship goes? That, like, it's never her fault, it's always your fault, it's also always something you should have done. If that's the case, like, that's the kind of relationship we're in, and that is hard to fix. I've done stuff. I mean, the story. I remember once. I'm gonna tell a little story. Like,
Please.
we were at a wedding, and instead of having rice, they had bubbles, because you're not supposed to throw rice and stuff because it's bad for the birds. They have bubbles, and I'm sitting there with my ex, and she's holding an open thing of bubbles and blowing it, and someone asks her what time it is, and she looks at her watch and pours these bubbles all down this new outfit she bought just for the wedding. And then she blamed the other person for asking her what time it is. And that's why she spilled the bubbles on herself. And for me now, like, that's like a million red flags, but back then I was just like, I didn't think anything of it. And so
Right.
look at your
Yeah, that's
relationship. It's
ridiculous.
so ridiculous.
That's
And it's just like,
that's absurd.
it's completely absurd. And so things I find, like, we couldn't talk about money without her making it that I was personally attacking her. Or we just couldn't have these things. Like, you're in a relationship, you're sharing finances. Like, I'm not, I'm just asking questions about, like, how are we going to budget things? And if you feel like that's for your relationship, just know that, because I think a lot of people aren't up to date, or we don't talk about narcissism, and we don't talk about borderline personality disorder and these things. Like when I started reading up on borderline personality disorder, it blew my mind that I was in that relationship not only with my ex but with members of my family too. And it's about recognizing that and realizing that you're worth it. That you're if someone truly loves you, they want you to be happy. And like Amanda said, like not everyone's ready for that. Not everyone can make those movements, but the correct answer to that problem is not sleeping with someone. She slept with some other guy because she wanted to sleep with some other guy. She did
Yeah.
not want to sleep with another guy and then be like, you know what, my partner's going to be trans. I'm going to go fuck someone else. No, they made that choice. They wanted to
I
do
mean,
it.
but you know what? She may have been upset and been like, fuck them, like, and that may have been a thing. Like, but
Still did.
here's
She
the
still
thing:
did
is
it.
that's still not okay.
It's still
Like,
not okay.
she still did decide to do it. It's not your
Yeah.
fault, but that may have been the reason she decided to cheat on you.
Yeah.
But she's still the one that cheated on you. It's never your fault when someone else cheats on you. Like, that's not how that works. Like, it's like you're not involved with your spouse cheating on you. That's not how that works, unless that's your jam and that's your whole thing. Like, I don't know, like, because that's a thing too. But like, it doesn't sound like that's what this is.
Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't sound like that at all. So
yeah, it doesn't sound like some kink shit. Like, it's like this is just traditional,
yeah,
according to Hoyle, infidelity.
she's gonna make those claims. She's gonna accuse you of things, and I think the first
Yeah,
step is realizing that those things aren't true. That you're allowed to find your happiness, and she can be on that journey with you, or she can't. But she can't go out of her way to hurt you and then say it's your own fault, because that's just not true.
that's bonkers. That's
Bullshit.
Space Jam
That's
shit. Yeah,
bullshit.
that's ridiculous. That's fucking.
Get out of here with this bullshit. That's
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
here.
Get out of here. What the fuck?
Yeah. Embrace your own happiness.
What the fuck is this shit, huh?
Find the people who want to be happy with you, who want you to be happy. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. And but I'd say the main way to to work with that is like remind yourself that it's not your fault. That person made those choices. She did that. So
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Rough.
You'll be fabulous though. Embrace your true self and live your life.
Don't let that shit slow you down. Don't let it get to you. But you're gonna have a rough patch. You got, at the very least, you got a lot to work out with this person. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do, but I wouldn't put up with that for a fucking second. I'd be out the goddamn door. I'd be like, yeah, no, this is on you. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Man,
yeah, we're just gonna go.
And you're in the right. You're completely
absolutely 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Call a lawyer, get whatever you can out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Second question. Too many. I think I still have PTSD, sorry, from my life in the closet. What are some steps that might help in my healing? Young trans man here, starting HRT, and it's so far been kind of amazing. As with anyone who starts this journey, there have been moments of doubt or questions of what I liked and want to carry with me from stuff I learned as my assigned gender at birth. There will be instances where I'm reminded of a feeling of femininity that makes me curious as to whether I want to give my birth gender presentation an umpteenth try. Oh, if I want to keep living, I'm a birth gender. Okay. But when I think about it with any seriousness, my body physically freezes up. I get nauseous, and I sometimes physically scream the word no. My body reacts. All right. Yeah,
I'm sorry to laugh. Sorry to laugh.
No, I get it.
That seems pretty clear cut. But like, no, I'm going to carry on. It's hard. It is hard.
It is. My body reacts with the utmost fear and pain that recalls a trauma response. I think from conversations with my therapist that this could be PTSD. Before you ask, I was loved and highly valued when pretending to be my birth gender and never once experienced overt gendered violence that made me reconsider being a woman. I was simply miserable for as long as I can recall having to perform that gender.
Yeah.
This makes things hard because I love and highly value aspects of femininity, and I want to participate in feminine things as a person more comfortable as their whole self. How did some members of this community navigate these complicated feelings, and what steps helped you heal from the trauma of the closet?
I have some good news for you, question asker. You
Yeah,
can be as feminine as you want and still be a man.
yeah,
Like, you don't have to abandon any of that. You don't have to do it. I think a lot of the times that people, I think, and I think this is becoming like more apparent as times modernize. But like, I think like a lot of people think that you have to like completely go through the looking glass, or you have to like completely flip the coin or whatever, that like, but the binary is an illusion. Like, it's not, it doesn't have to be, their gender's a spectrum. And like, yeah, you can still transition and be a man,
hmm,
but you can still wear makeup, and you can
yeah,
still wear dresses or whatever it is that's femininity to you. The parts that you like, you can keep those. Like, you can be whomever you want to be and whatever you want to be. Like, but the best thing you can be is what makes you happy. And so you are now in this stage that we've talked about before, where it's like, this is the time to experiment and try things on and see what you like and see what you don't like, and get rid of the things that you don't and keep the ones that you do. And that's about it. And don't feel like you can't change later, because you will, because
hmm,
transitioning will change you. Like, your tastes are going to change, your body's going to change, your brain's going to change, your things you like. You may find that for now there's things that you really want to hang on to, and as time goes on you might not want to hang on to those things anymore, or you might get rid of some of the things that you think you really bring you dysphoria, and then later on you're like, well, I kind of miss that. You might want to bring it back, and all of that's okay. You can do all of that.
yeah.
um any of it's good. As far as like dealing with the trauma, because I don't know too much about PTSD, but like, we've gotten more than one of these instances with trans mask guys, and where they're like they're confused about it right up to the point where they're like adamantly not. Like, and I don't mean, I don't know what it's like to be trans mask at all. Like, I'm sure it's different. In fact, I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
But what I can say is like the act of transitioning is difficult, and it is confusing, and and there is lots of doubt that's sown by society.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times when you get that, well, maybe I'm really happy as I am, that's like, you're not. You're not. And
And
your
you may
body
not,
screams
like
no. You're
you
not. You
mentioned,
said
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
You said it yourself. Like, you're not, and you know that. But that's the thing, is that's the denial, and that's the constant bombardment from media and from family and from crizzos,
and
and
just
like,
humans changing their lives. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
every time you make a
yeah.
big change, whether that's quitting a job or moving or starting your transition, like every time you make a move to change your life radically, your brain, some part of your brain is going to be like, whoa, 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 why are we doing this? What's going
Scary,
on? It's
unknown,
scary.
scary,
I don't know.
danger.
But you
Yeah.
clearly, you're this conscious part of your brain thinks like, maybe I shouldn't transition, and then this subconscious part of your brain freezes you up, and yeah, like you know.
Yeah. Did he say like getting that he got like physically ill?
Well, it says body physically freezes up. I get
Yeah, like, I mean,
nauseous,
there you
and I get
go. Like, I
nauseous.
mean,
Yeah,
listen to that shit. Like, that's
yeah,
the real shit right there. That's not doubt. That's not what that is. Like, that's it. But like,
yeah.
and that's the thing, it's like, is like I said earlier, it's like you don't have to like abandon anything you don't want to abandon, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like you can be whoever and whatever you want to be, and you should. Like, and that's the thing, is like, clearly I did he start T already? I can't remember.
Starting HRT, and so far it's been kind of amazing. It is
Yeah,
kind of amazing.
it's, I wouldn't say it's, I'd go beyond, I'd say it's fucking incredible. Like I
It's
sure love it.
incredible.
Like,
Yeah.
but that's the thing is that's when you're trans, like it's medicine and it fixes a lot of
Yeah.
problems. And for me it was great because like I had all these problems, many of which I didn't even know that I had.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I started feeling better, like from the medicine,
Yeah.
that like I got, it was like, oh shit, that really sucked. I didn't realize how miserable I was. And like, and it's just like being able to be the person that you always knew you were supposed to be. It's just like, what's better than that? There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
It's the best thing there is. And like, and but it is, like Lilith said, like anytime you do anything with your life that's monumental or has a large impact, like you're going to have trepidation, and there is the part of your lizard brain where the fear trigger kicks in, because the fear of the unknown and fear of like change. But like, I mean, that's the thing is like, and the reality of it is like there is nothing more impactful than transitioning. I can't even imagine
And
anything like
yeah.
that could be possibly more impactful than that, with the possible exception of having kids, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the only thing that I can think of. And I don't have any kids myself, so I can't see for sure one way or the other, but that seems pretty fucking impactful.
Yeah. I would
Like,
say, oh, yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say, like, when it comes to your PTSD, I think, I'm not gonna have anything on how to handle that, but I think talking to your therapist is part of that. And I think
Sure.
one thing that helped me is that when I did start hormone therapy and I was still seeing my therapist, like the clarity that came with all of that really helped me deal with a lot of those things, and realizing that
Mm-hmm.
um yes, trauma's real. Yes, that's real, but it's also like you are where you are now, and you really have to think about how you want to move forward from here. And talking to your therapist and helping that out is a big part of it. I think I had a lot of things in my life, a lot of trauma in my life, and I blamed a lot of that for where I was. Um, and it really was a matter of talking about where I want to go with my life and what can I do today, and realizing that your past doesn't define you. Your past defines you only as much as you let it define you, whether that's where you were born, or what your socioeconomic background is, or what you know what kid you were in your family. If you had three kids, were you the baby, were you the oldest, did you conform to some sort of expectation because you were the oldest child? And so it really is sometimes about redefining your ego and really looking at, like, what are the things I'm
Yeah.
carrying with me that aren't serving me and that aren't carrying me. And again, it's not easy work. I'm not a therapist who can just tell you, like,
There's nothing easy
how to
about
deal
it.
with
Like,
trauma. But the first step for me, and I think for a lot of people, is really like, what are you going to carry and how is it serving you? And I think, your therapist will be in a good position to help you with that. But yeah, I thought, like, the day I stopped living with regrets and like thinking those thoughts, like, oh, if I go back to when I was 18, and like, well, what if you can go back with 18 with everything you know now? It's like, I wouldn't do that. As much as life sucked from 18, from birth to the time I transitioned and things like that. I wouldn't change for my life's amazing right now, and it's because of the life I've had. And so who knows what new inventive ways I could fuck up my life if I went back to 18.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
like that episode of The Simpsons. You go back and you sit on a butterfly, and all of a sudden,
yeah,
like people's heads are toasters now.
yeah. It's
Like,
Raymond Jonas.
you
Yeah,
never
all that kind of
know.
stuff.
You never
So
know.
work with your therapist for sure. Talk it up and like really discover about yourself, and like, how are you letting those things affect you. It's a lot of work, but also know that, like, clearly, based on what you said here, like, you're doing the right thing right now. And know that first, like, know that you're on the right track, that you're doing the things to make yourself happy and amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like it is a it, it, there's nothing small about transitioning. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing easy about it. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's confusing. It's difficult to navigate, and unfortunately, more and more there's more information and there's more community, and there's more people that are out there that are available, that are willing to help
Mm-hmm.
and talk to you about stuff. And that's something that, like, we didn't have, like, when Lilith and I were growing up. That wasn't really a thing that was out there, and now it is. Now it's out there, and it's plentiful, and that's a very good thing. But it's still hard, and
Yeah,
you
it's
still got
still
to figure this
difficult.
stuff out, and you're doing great. And like I said, just remember that, like, like, it's a transition, and it's gradual, and it's slow, and it takes a long time. And not only is it inevitable that you're going to try things on and they're not going to work, you'd be crazy not to. Like, this is the time when
Yeah.
you need to figure this stuff out, and the
Throw
only
out the
way
rule book
yeah,
and write your own rules.
the rules do not work for us. They are not there for us, and we don't work with them, and they don't work with us. And you got to go out there, and you got to kind of figure stuff out, like, by trial and error, which is really ultimately the only real way you can know. And you have to have the courage and the conviction to just to trust yourself. Like, do I like this? Yes. Do I not? No. And that's really all you need. It's really not more complicated than that. It's not easy, but
Right.
it's not complicated.
Yeah. Mm. But yeah, like I said, you've just started HRT. You're on the right track.
You're on the right track. You feel way better.
listen to your body, listen to your subconscious. Your
Yeah,
subconscious is
hell
telling you
yeah.
exactly where you're headed and what you need, and just keep working with your therapist. My therapist did a great job with me, and it's just like a place to talk shit out without judgment. And you're gonna be amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You already are, as far as
I
I'm
mean, yeah. I mean,
concerned.
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to imply you weren't already awesome. I'm
No,
sorry.
I know. We all know what that means. But, like, yeah, still, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I really feel two things today. I really feel like we helped some people,
No, I think so. I hope
but I
so.
but I also feel we had some good bits. I
There were
feel
some
like
good
you
bits.
were you were minding for bits at the top of this, and we
I
found
felt
some,
like we didn't have enough bits, and
and
then
now we got too
we
many
we
bits.
found the
We got a
bits. There
plethora
was,
of
like,
bits.
there's plenty of bits. There's plenty of
Yeah,
bits.
and keep listening. Once we
There might even
know
be leftover
Yeah,
bits.
once we know where we're doing stand up when we're in San Luis Obispo, we'll let everyone know. You guys can travel there and come see us each do 5 minutes of stand up comedy.
Yeah,
It'll be
how
pretty
about that?
exciting. Yeah.
Everyone, yeah. I mean, get your plane
Everyone.
tickets now, or
Everyone.
don't,
Yeah.
because we don't know when.
Oh,
But just think about getting plane tickets.
just don't get an Airbnb until I book mine because I don't want to have to like not be able to find a place to
Oh,
stay.
yeah,
That would be
that's
that'd be
true.
There's so many people
That's
came to
true.
see us do an open mic. And
You bet.
then
Well, you're just gonna have to get your Airbnb before this airs, so, like, you're just gonna have to
I got a
snatch up.
week. I got 2 weeks or a week. I don't know where
You
I
don't, you
know.
don't got a week. You gotta get that now. Like, you got 3 days.
All right, I'll do it. All right, I'm doing it. Y'all who are listening to this podcast, you are amazing. You are fabulous. You're beautiful. You're living the life you want to live, or you're an ally to someone who's living the life they want to live, and I appreciate that so much. I love you. I love my co-host Amanda. Hey, Amanda.
I love you, Lilith, and I love all of you people too. All you good people in the world.
Yeah,
Love you.
love you. Keep being strong. Keep inspiring each other. Keep inspiring the world, and we can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.